Hello again. Have another video for the Philip Seymour Hoffman Appreciation series of videos I'm doing here. This is going to be a review for the movie Happiness. And if you haven't seen this movie and you're not easily offended, I would recommend checking it out. I'm a huge fan of this movie. It's probably my second favorite performance that I've seen of Philip Seymour Hoffman next to Love Liza. I think Love Liza is my favorite, which I'm probably going to review here shortly. But yeah, Happiness, directed by Todd Solondz, and a huge fan of his work. Tons of respect for this guy because he works outside of the studio system most of the time and does a lot of independent work and does a lot of stuff that I think is unique and he's got balls for doing the movies he does, especially this one. But a huge fan of his work, and if you like this movie, definitely check out his other flicks. But this is definitely a movie that's not you're not going to want to show this to your mom. You're not going to want to show this to your grandparents. This movie is you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's what he does in a lot of his films. He takes very controversial subject matter and makes like a almost like a comedy drama, like a dramedy out of these things. And it's they're usually dramas with comedic elements in there. And he does that, and this film it deals with lots of really heavy subject matter, pedophilia, probably the biggest one people remember about this movie. But I mean, you name it, man. Pedophilia, rape, murder. The list goes on and on. Obesity, stalking. Uh, you know, Philip Seymour Hoffman is like a crazy masturbating pervert in this movie, which is hilarious, I think. But when you watch this movie, you really gotta take a step back and realize this is a movie and not real. Because I'm sure a lot of people will give me hate for even saying that I enjoy this movie, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. Anyway, I'll get on here to the all-star cast here. Jane Addams, John Lovitz has a small role in there. Of course, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Dylan Baker, and he plays the pedophile in the film, and he is the guy from um, Trick or Treat, the horror flick. He plays the principal or a teacher or something in there. Anyway, he's in the beginning, the first story in the first story in the movie. I can't think of the anthology, first anthology story of the film. And Laura Flynn Boyle, Cynthia Stevens, Molly Shannon has a small role in there. This thing is just chock full of people you would recognize throughout film and television work. But as far as story of this movie, basically follows three sisters and what's going on with their lives, and they've all pretty much having a shitty time. Everybody in this movie is having a pretty shitty time. This is obviously it's the title of the movie is sarcastic, and but let's see. I'll start with Jane Addams. She plays Joy Jordan. She is a single lady, and she is a teacher at a school, and there's a strike going on at the school, and she decides to teach anyway, and gets a lot of flack for that, and has an affair with a married Russian fellow, and it doesn't go very well for her at all. And the second sister, Laura Flynn Boyle, she plays Helen Jordan. She is trying to write a book, and she thinks that she needs to be raped because it'll help her, get a better perspective on her writing and something like that. I think she's a writer. Anyway, and then comes Philip Seymour Hoffman is this crazy uh, pervert who, what he does to get his jollies, he calls women. And I don't know if he prank calls them or looks them up in the phone book. I think he actually looks up Laura Flynn Boyle and calls her at one point, and says lots of vulgar things to them. And then he finishes everywhere, and it shows that. So once again, if any of that sounds like it might offend you, don't watch this. But So that's Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's really out there, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's therapist is Dylan Baker. Bob Maplewood is that character. He is a psychiatrist. He's also the pedophile who fantasizes about having sex with little boys, and there's lots of really, really awkward scenes between him and his son about sex and masturbating and stuff like that. And lots of really fucking uncomfortable scenes there. Like I think that's very close to being the most uncomfortable I've ever felt during a movie. And the few times I've seen this film, it's it, it gets me every time. It's very hard to watch, but yeah, lots of stuff going on there. But that's the other sister, the third sister's husband is Bill Maplewood, the pedophile. Her name is Trish Maplewood in the movie, played by Cynthia Stevenson. She's Cynthia Stevenson's been in tons of stuff. You would recognize her as well. But she is, obviously married to this pedophile, and she's got a lot of weird views on raising her kids, and so she's got a lot of stuff going on with her. And to top all this off, the mother of these three girls, three women, her husband, their father, is leaving her, and it shows the mother dealing with that, with all those issues that go along with that. So, very, very convoluted plot here. Hard to describe this movie. I love this movie. It's very entertaining, in my opinion. Uh, it's never a dull moment. Even the moments that you would expect to be dull, they're really, the actors are so great, and the dialogue is so well written that it's very entertaining. Philip Seymour Hoffman plays this guy so well. I've always thought of him as kind of like a chameleon. Like he can really, uh, you know, become the person he's trying to play, or the person he's playing in the film. I don't know if he was method or not, but I would imagine so. But yeah, definitely check this film out if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think. And if you liked it, check out some of the other films by Todd Solondz. He's a really interesting filmmaker, and I'd really like to do maybe a retrospective on him one day. So, but yeah, let me know what you think, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.